This week on Inside Boulder News, monsoon season brings heightened flood awareness, Boulder's awarded as a storm-ready community, and OSMP tracks Raptor health. Welcome to Inside Boulder News. I'm Natalie Wood. Flash flooding in Boulder can happen at any time, but during the summer, our town is on heightened flood awareness. Monsoon season lasts from May through September, and storms in the city and the mountains can cause a flash flood. Unlike other places around the country where rivers rise slowly, flooding in Boulder can happen within just a few minutes. Here's how you can prepare.
It can flood any time of the year in Boulder. It depends on if a big storm sits in the right spot for long enough. But this time during the summer, between now and September, we're on heightened awareness because of the monsoon season. So those storms are more likely to happen this time of year. The number one thing we want people to know is that it can flood here in Boulder, and it can flood very quickly. This isn't like the floods you see in other parts of the country, like the Midwest, where the rivers rise slowly over a few days. The flash floods here will happen within minutes. So walk and get out of the way and get uphill.
Families are encouraged to plan ahead on meeting places and ways to contact each other in a flood event. Residents living in a floodplain should also have a flood evacuation kit on hand. Visit boulderfloodinfo.net to prepare a family action plan and get tips on creating a flood kit. Colorado weather isn't easy to predict, but our community is prepared for when severe weather strikes. The National Weather Service recently designated Boulder as a storm-ready community. This is because of the city's commitment to creating systems that will save property and lives.
Notice how the vertical extent here. I believe this is a non-supercell tornado. Today I'm doing some spotter training for the Max Group, at Boulder Max Group. We do about 25 or 30 of these a year. And we typically do it in the spring, right before severe weather. Ideally, they will have a better understanding of storms, why they form, how they form, what to look for in the storms to assess the strength of the storm, a little bit safer approach to looking at storms.
Everyone likes to think they're prepared. No one wants to walk around all day thinking, oh my gosh, there's a threat that's going to hurt me or harm my family or wreck my house. So that's one of the challenges we have in trying to prepare the community is finding ways to make it a relevant message and to where people can balance that with everyday life.
It's really a recognition of efforts done within the county to become resilient to storms. We can never prevent big storms, but you can survive them much better if you take some steps. Such as, do you have multiple ways to monitor the weather? Do you have multiple ways to alert your community of dangerous weather?
If people just can understand when they get a warning is to go find more information, they're taking the first step in being able to protect themselves. And if you get a warning that is on your phone or across the television, or the sirens go off, or you get a phone call that says there's a problem, know where to go find more additional information so that you can decide quickly and decisively what actions you need to take.
Visit boulderoem.org to sign up for local emergency messages. From ideas meetings to design contests and even input from Boulder's smallest city planners. Tap it a couple times. The community has shown what they'd like to see become of Boulder's civic heart. Now it's time for Council to decide on the next steps for the Boulder Civic Area project.
There's been some great ideas put on the table, some great designs. At this point, we're not doing any building designs. That will come next, but I think it's definitely raised the level of the conversation. So at the City Council meeting on June 11th, Tuesday, we'll be presenting to Council some initial recommendations for some of the key choices that we need to make in the Civic Area plan and seeking their feedback and direction. And this is leading up to the hopeful adoption of a vision plan in the September timeframe. Really encourage people to stay involved and to keep bringing their great ideas to the table. This is about creating something for the community for generations to come, and we think it's an exciting and important project, and hope people will continue to engage with it.
Stay up to date on the Civic Area website and watch council meetings and news updates at boulderchannel8.com. Many young are leaving the nest this time of year, not only graduates but birds of prey. Every year, OSMP tracks the health of 4 different species of raptors with the help of a team of volunteers. We followed a volunteer to a perch to watch a raptor family in action.
Ran into Lisa Deeroff, who is the volunteer coordinator for the city. We were talking about nature and wildlife and things we like to do. I have a degree in zoology from a million years ago, but I never used it. I was a CPA, it was my career. I'm retired now. And she said, "Oh, well, you would be perfect for our Raptor Monitor group." And I said, "That sounds interesting." Well, you could wake up. I'm still a very enthusiastic naturalist, and I'm interested in the birds and the wildflowers and everything. So the opportunity to come out and monitor these raptors was very exciting.
I think a lot of people inherently feel close to raptors. You know, there's this kind of feeling that these raptors are charismatic megafauna.
They're huge. You see them circling around and flying, and they don't even flap. They just straight out, and they just cruise along. It's just beautiful to watch.
And they're very fragile to human disturbance. And so kind of that feeling that humans are in fact protecting habitat is very easily seen in some of these successful raptor nesting attempts. And so I think in terms of the city of Boulder, you know, our history, at least in this raptor management program, is one to be proud of. We began this with Boulder County Nature Association and the climbing community in the 80s to learn more about the nesting attempts, become more educated as to where the birds were nesting, and that's kind of evolved into our program today. And to be honest, the City of Boulder is one of the first, if not the first, land management agencies to begin this close relationship between humans and raptors.
It feels really good to me to give back to the city they've set aside these wonderful parks and preserve this for us and for everyone to enjoy, and for the eagles to have a place to nest.
There are many ways to get involved in our beautiful backyard as an OSMP volunteer. Visit osmp.org and find the volunteer page to look for opportunities. Thanks for watching Inside Boulder News. Stay in touch with us on Facebook and Twitter by submitting news tips and questions. And now you can sign up to receive video updates right in your inbox. Just go to boulderchannel8.com and click on subscribe.